piss off some other people that are in the bigger wig business. Why do you think that helps? Because that's what you think helps.
Right.
Whatever. Hey, go ahead. It's all good. I don't care.
Yeah, we just wanted to ask that question. Oh, the recorder. I'm sorry.
All good, man. You know what? If there's a question I can't answer, I'll be like, I can't answer that. So I don't care. It's all good. We keep it moving.
All right.
All right. So
trepidation.
Let's talk a little bit about your new album. A lot of people have been saying it's return to your roots. Do you agree with that?
I think we took the approach of returning to our roots by going back and recording the way we did in '93 in a small room and recording on a 16-track board and just taking the whole vibe.
Oh, really? Yeah. So no Pro Tools or anything?
No, we just did everything straight, like in a little tiny 8x10 jam room. And sometimes the jams would go straight to recording, and we'd leave, like, if it was a vibe and it was a little sloppy, we still left it. If you listen to a new Korn album, you'll hear that. You know, it's like, but we're going for more a vibe than trying to make it perfect. So you're going to hear how it is, the rawness of how it really is.
So in other words, you don't filter down any aggression?
No, because sometimes it's such a vibe that, you know, it wasn't that tight, but the vibe was good. You listen to any old records, it's all like that. Listen to some Led Zeppelin today, and you're like, he's out of key, but the vibe is there. You know, or it's sloppy, or the drums are slowing down, but it's just, there's an undeniable vibe, it doesn't matter.
So this is your 9th studio album, right?
Yep.
And it's called Korn 3. Why is that?
We worked in the studio with Ross Robinson on the first 2 Korn records.
Right.
Getting back in the studio with him just felt like it was like the 3rd Korn album because we took the same approach as the first 2 Korn albums.
Okay. And this is also your first on Roadrunner. And what do you feel they offer you as a band?
I don't know, man. I don't really know too much about it. I just know that they help get it out there, because we don't know how to do that. I don't know how to put a record out, you know. And I don't know. We like the approach of them being like one of the record companies that was doing an old format way. There's not a lot of record companies left anymore, you know. So it's like just roll with that.
So I don't know their actual status, but they're not really a major.
Nope. Yeah, but with Korn 2, like, Korn 3, you know, when we signed back in the day, it was to Immortal Records, which was the same thing, like independent. So, yeah, I don't know.
And you also, you recently named your drummer, Ray Luzier, as a full-time member as opposed to a session member. Has he affected the writing and recording of the new album at all?
I think he's made it more like, feel natural. Like, he didn't try to come in and show all kinds of skills and this and that. He just knew how to fit the mold of what Korn needed, and that's what we liked about him so much. Because I think when we had some drum auditions, we had some like awesome guys come in, and they were just, that was a problem. Because they came in and showed all their skills, and it's like, it's not what we were really looking for. We wanted somebody that got what we needed.
And how has the tour been going so far?
This has been a big one for us. It's a huge summer festival tour. A lot of we have a lot of pyro, which is, I miss that, man. Pyro's fun. It's just fun, you know. I don't know. It's just the reason we don't have it too often is because it's really expensive.
Right.
So we do have a lot of pyro going on this time.
And is this your first summer tour since Ozfest? You did Ozfest a couple years back.
Yeah, I guess so. It's been a while since we've done anything. You know, I'd like to do Family Values again. Hopefully we can hit that like next summer. That'd be great. But we'll see.
Do you prefer that kind of show over a headline show just by yourself? Or is this kind of more fun to go out with all these younger bands, bring out all, know, they're all out for you. I mean, to expose.
I don't know, man. I like both because they're different. It's hard to say, like when you're headlining. I mean, we are headlining this tour, but there is like 15 bands out here, so that's fun too. But then when it's like less chaotic, it's fun too. It's simpler.
And do you have any crazy stories from this tour, or anything else that sticks in your mind from the previous tour you'd like to share with us?
Let me check this. Why I don't make the Canada date tomorrow. Oh, any crazy stories? I woke up today and my tour manager said, "You have your passport?" And I'm like, "No, it's at home in California. I'm on the East Coast right now." So they're trying to get my safe open at home. I got to fly out west from head PE, guitar player. He's at my house trying to open my safe up. If they don't do this in like the next 30 minutes, we're not going to Canada. And we have a huge, probably 20,000 seater up there tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. I think that's probably the craziest thing to happen is today, finding all this out.
That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's not my fault, by the way. It's my tour manager's fault. He should have known. Putting the heat on him. His name is Bob Smith.
Are there any bands on this tour that you're particularly impressed with?
You know, I haven't had a chance to see any bands because the new Korn CD just came out. I've been doing just press and photos and meet and greets and signings, and it's just how it is when a new CD comes out. But there is a lot of bands out here, so people that want to come out. It's a big event.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you about was you recently did a show in a crop circle. What was the inspiration for that?
It was, I mean, that was probably one of the coolest things I think we've ever done. It was in the middle of a field, middle of nowhere, but a full-on concert. And it was unrehearsed, so we were making things up. Like, we go to a song, and going into the next song, we would just jam out. Like this weird vibe, like looking at each other, kind of creating music until it went into the next song. So it was like an on-flowing thing. And it happened to be where we were running late, so it started like right at sunset. And it started, sunset went down, and then the moon came out, and it was a full moon. And they did this whole, these guys, 4 guys from like, I think London, Australia, so 4 of them. They go out there and they smash the circles in, and they did a Korn where it was so big you could see it from space. So you Google Earth and come down and you can see Korn smashed in the crops. And I didn't never get to see it because we're down in the crop. You can't see it unless you're like looking from space. But it was a full-on vibe, and for a musician, it's just cool to do something like that where you're just, it's nothing but inspiration, and a vibe.
So you actually had the circle created for you?
Yeah, they went out and they smashed all the circles, and then once they were done, we went and set out in the middle of these crops. It just rocked. Okay, I gotta see if I'm going to Canada.